The race to level 110 has begun. Undoubtedly, you've seen plenty of videos out there about how to get more experience points, perhaps using energy and things like that to really bolster our account forward. We've seen lots of information about what characters should an individual build to take advantage of the new milestone event, right? That race to 110 are the characters we could use to, again, get through that, get some extra points. All this is good. It's excellent. It's good information. However, from the free to play perspective, we need to be very, very careful. Although this information is coming in fast and is abundant and is designed to help us, there is a very high possibility that following that advice from the free to play perspective will actually harm and damage our account. So we want to really take our time to see what is the appropriate strategy. What is it we should be doing? There's also some rewards and things like that that are moving around. We want to be careful of that as well, because from a free to play perspective, we need to make sure we're capitalizing and grabbing all the things that we can. Now, why is it exactly that our account could indeed be harmed? Well, it's because the level cap increase going up to level 110 is a progression method, right? Is a progression method. And whenever there's a new progression method in the game, typically it is not meant for the free to play community. Let's just give an example. Purple ISO. So purple ISO, right? Purple ISO level 5 is the highest level we can go with that. That was introduced just a few months previous. How many characters do you have at purple ISO level 5? If you're like me, it's not very many. That's a resources that is coming in free, but it comes in slowly. The way to take advantage of that is to spend money, right? That's something for the spenders, for the whales, for the Krakens to take advantage of so they can bolster up their rosters. If you're free to play like me, then you're going to simply have to wait, right? We just have to wait till that resource becomes more abundant on the free to play side and just take what we can get for the time being. What does that have to do with the level cap increase? Well, the level cap increase, since it's a progression method, is the same thing, okay? I would be very, very cautious, especially over the course of the next 30 days, spending resources, bringing characters up to level 110. Why? Because we're not sure if the in-game economy can sustain that from the free to play perspective. We're not going to know until the month has gone by what the numbers look like. Now, creators like Big Positive Geek, right? He really hones in and pays attention to the economy of the game. So I'm really eagerly anticipating what numbers he has at the end of the month. Until then, I'm simply going to play the game as usual. In a sense, we're just going to bring characters up to 105. My goal is to get them at gear tier 20. Okay, the game seems to be able to give us those things. So if we pursue that course, we should be fine. If we did otherwise, what's the problem with that? Again, if the free to play side of things isn't giving us those kind of resources for free, then we're operating at a deficit. Okay, we'd be operating at a deficit. And we already know that resources are they're tight, right? Resources are tight. Right. I think we've proven, we've demonstrated you do get enough resources to bring all the characters up that come out within a release period to that appropriate level, that gear tier 19 or 20, level 105. That's been the case for quite some time. So I don't see why that part would change. However, if they didn't add extra resources into the community yet on the free to play side of things, then we don't have what we need to go to 110. Does that make sense? If we don't have what we need to go to 110, then we're using resources that are not intended. We're operating at a deficit. And again, that's going to stagnate our account. We're going to run out of resources. We're not really sure if that is or is not a thing just yet. My assumption it would be that it is not a thing. This is a progression method. And so individuals that have extra resources, probably because they spent money, they can take their characters up that way much faster. So we have to take advantage of the time we have to just sit, think, look around, talk, discuss, and see what the numbers look like, right? I'm just encouraging that. I'm going to wait till next month to know for sure. And then when we see that that trend is indeed happening, then we jump on board and we take advantage of that, okay? There are a couple other things tied into this level 110 event and just the way the game is now changing. It'd be better suited if we took a look at that in game. So let's go take a look for some strengths and weaknesses so we don't fall into the pitfalls that are coming up. Let's start here with the Alliance War rewards. Right now, we're getting Jeff the Land Shark. We recognize here the numbers are going to change. This is due to things not starting out depending on when you're watching this with the war season correctly. But Jeff the Land Shark shards are the reward for our Alliance War season. In that last spot where Jeff is right now, that's where we used to get our tier 4 ability materials. This is a very important thing to understand. Alliance War is kind of a passive game mode if you want it to be, right? We recognize that people play hard, people play competitively, but there's some people that don't. Maybe there's some people that don't enjoy the game mode, so they don't put as much effort in. Maybe they just come in, hit auto, do an attack or two, and that way they still qualify for their rewards. That was fine, right? If you're not really going after Jeff, that was fine to keep your account moving forward when it came to your tier 4 ability materials, but they're no longer here. So where did they go? Our tier 4 ability materials are now going to be located inside of the danger room. As you can see, we already made a good run. We got everything done, but as we go throughout the milestone rewards, you'll find that's where your tier 4 ability materials are. So this is where they're going to be sitting for what would be considered the duration of the war season. Now, as you notice up there on the left-hand side, right? 11 days at the time of recording this video is how long the danger room is going to last. So Jeff the Land Shark is going to be in the Alliance War rewards for months to come, right? It's not going to simply be 11 days. So these tier 4 ability materials, this is something that we need to continue to upgrade our characters. So where they're going to land is going to change, right? It's going to change over the upcoming days, weeks, months. And we want to stay tuned and just make sure we're looking around in the game to see where they are, because we need them as free-to-play players to build up our account. And this is not a passive thing, right? Danger Room is not a passive thing. You got 11 days to do it, but it takes time to build your teams if you don't have them built, right? To just work your way through, making sure that we're making use of the best rewards, or excuse me, the mods here that we can. Again, I used the immortal weapons. I was able to actually one-shot it. I'm sad that I wasn't able to record it because it went very, very well. But again, we want to just keep in mind that this is something we want to continue to work on and work through so we can get the tier 4s that we need, okay? It's not going to come passively like it did with Alliance War. This comes from playing. This is going to come to active players. So we need to be involved to make sure we're getting the rewards that our account needs. So in this next section here, we're talking about Zombie Kestrel for a minute. The main point is she has dual tags, right? She is a bio and also a tech character, meaning if you ranked her up in the race to 110, you get credit for more than one field, right? You get credit for more than one field and get some rewards based on that. Now that's fine, right? If that's something you were planning to do. However, if this is not a character that you're using, again, we need to be careful. The economy does not really support the free-to-play community going backwards in building characters, okay? We pretty much need to just keep moving the ball forward. Going backwards means you need to add resources to the economy, and that can only be done by spending money. So just to get a couple extra rewards in the event, we don't want to cripple our account. So here we are looking at the race to 110, and again, we want to make sure we're taking note of the actual awards. So here's where we start getting some extra rewards. So there's a 4 diamond Star-Lord right there. There's a 4 diamond Adam Warlock. And then notice again the premium sticker here. When you see that premium sticker, that means you should probably need to be spending money to get to that milestone. So the expectation here is over the course of the event, right now, as we're saying, you see on the left-hand side there's 56 days left. Over the course of the event, free to play will make it to Adam Warlock, and there's probably money that needs to be spent to get to the Phoenix. Why is this important? The Phoenix is probably something we're going to need, right? About that time, maybe, like it says, about 2 months from now, maybe we get the new Magneto Phoenix Force, right? And having a stronger Phoenix at that time, well, would make sense. Okay, it would make sense. And so probably that's a premium milestone we're going for. As far as the other characters, right now, we don't really have a use for either of these characters. They're not strong. They're not in the meta. We're going to get them anyway from playing the game. So pushing to get farther into this event for characters that we're not currently using, we don't really have a use for, right? That we don't want to hurt ourselves and cripple our account to do that. So just building up characters that fall into one or more of these extra categories just because, right? And again, we see premium objectives there. So most people are not going to make it into that level 110 free to play wise. I mean, obviously, if we push our account, we can, but we don't want to cripple our account overall. Short-term gain is rarely worth it, right? Short-term gains are rarely worth it, right? It's slow and steady wins the race. What's the long haul? What does the future look like? So be very, very careful of spending resources that we potentially don't have just to get rewards that we're not going to use. So really, what's the point? Well, I'm just encouraging people to be careful, to be cautious. Over the coming month, let's wait and see what the economy looks like to know when it's time for us to be able to push and take advantage of the new level 110. Okay. So hoard, that's not a word I like to use. I'm not going to say hoard our golden training materials. I'm just urging again, caution. Maybe going past 105 is not the thing to do right now. Make sure that we're participating in the danger room to make sure we get our tier 4 ability materials. And then when the danger room expires, we need to make sure we're looking around in the game, paying attention to what's happening in a blog post, listening to what other creators are, if they're showing us where these resources are so we're able to find them. And then we want to ignore the slot fillers, right? Going after characters that we're not going to be using, building up older characters, even if they're good, if we're not using them just to check off a leaderboard event, right? Because leaderboard events are for spenders. They're not really for the free to play community. So temper our expectations, have that excitement that there is indeed a new level cap in a game, and go for it. We just need to keep in mind that the true 105 to 110 might be whale or kraken experience right now. It will slowly shift over to us as the free to play. We just have to wait and take our time, just like everything else. Hey, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are we on the right track? Are we misguided? What do you think? And listen, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.